human rights are a necessary fiction. One of the key issues regarding human rights within the field of human rights and the discipline of human rights is a lack of agreement about many of its key terms. Well, where do human rights come from? Where do they come from? Are they related to religion? Are they related to philosophy? Do they come from other factors? Do human rights exist universally across space? And are they universal across time? Do human rights stop at the door of culture? Now, one way of thinking about international human rights organizations in the context that we're in is that they propound universal human rights, but within themselves can often promote and propagate a form of identity politics that is about respecting particular cultures. Now, these are deep philosophical problems, but they're also deep practical problems. Generally, human rights organizations are opposed to the death penalty. This particular case highlights many of the problems and issues regarding human rights, and there are different levels at which we can approach this. The case itself involves a man called Anwar al-Awlaki. He's a US citizen, and he's currently believed to be hiding in Yemen. And Anwar al-Awlaki is very strongly associated with al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. The critical thing about his situation is that it is believed, and it was widely reported, that President Obama and his administration have issued an executive order to undertake an assassination of Anwar al-Awlaki. Now, that in itself is not unusual, in that certain orders have been undertaken to assassinate individuals through, for example, drone strikes. What is unusual about this case for human rights organizations in the USA is that Anwar al-Awlaki is a US citizen, and therefore this raises the question of whether the President of the United States of America has the right to order the assassination of a US citizen without them having gone through due process and indeed being charged in a public court with any particular offences. Now, if one looks at it from the perspective of some of the human rights organizations in the US who have issued a legal challenge to this particular order, then the issue is straightforward. Anwar al-Awlaki's human rights are being violated should this order be enacted. But it also raises, I think, difficult ethical issues. You have on the one side the human rights community arguing against and taking out a legal challenge against this order. And then on the other side, you have people like Anwar al-Awlaki who very openly call for the death of civilians. If we consider the different ethical challenges it poses, we have to locate it within the broader context of how progressive human rights organizations have tended in their work around terrorism to focus on counterterrorism rather than the violations of human rights undertaken by armed militia, often internationally organized, against civilians. And again, that's human rights changes depending on the perspective and the vision one comes from. So for example, if your mind's eye were to travel to the borders of Afghanistan or certain areas of Pakistan where you have women's rights violated regularly by these armed religious groups, and from the perspective of Britain and the US where you have progressive organizations supporting representatives of the same religious militia, then you've got something going on there that is a serious ethical issue.